And that's the 60?
56.
That's your 56. And
Yep.
what's the next wedge down?
60.
No, the other direction.
52.
Let me see you hit that same distance with a 52.
Okay.
I want to test your... You've heard of people playing the course with one club?
7 iron, like 10.
Yeah, something.
Up.
Obviously, they're having to manipulate their swing a lot.
Right.
Do you have the skill to manipulate your swing? So you're trying to cut like a knockdown, a shorter backswing, obviously. It's about the same.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I choked down about 2 inches.
Okay. If I said do a left arm parallel swing,
It's going to end up here somewhere.
okay, can you, is that a
You're talking
functional
about
swing?
feel level to me, or get
Feel
it
level to you.
Yeah, feel level instead of here will be a little.
Okay. So let me see. You're not trying to hit a distance. You're just trying to repeat a swing. See if you can do a left arm parallel feel.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen Big Break. Some of those
Yeah.
like to do the pane glass, trying to break the glass,
Oh.
but their focus is on the line, the direction.
Yeah.
But I want your mind on the stick and not that out there.
Is that,
So in your mind, that's your target. I want, if there was a pane of glass right here, or wherever that pane of glass needs to be, that's what you're trying to break.
that golf ball.
It's a good swing though. That was probably 145. Check. I don't know about the left arm. But 130 would be the 45-degree point,
Okay.
right? 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 130.
Yeah.
So you were just slightly past the 45. That's good. That's good.
What I'm thinking with the pane of glass here is how I feel like I'm supposed to feel my normal swing to be,
Mhm.
because it causes me to get this down here more to try to compress it into the
That's right.
pane of glass.
Which is an important fundamental of good. And when directional control, sometimes when we too much of our memory is this part of a swing, you know, feeling this, but that really doesn't have anything to do with that direction.
Right.
And we can get it nice and high and get the distance, but it can waver this way because the feeling we're focusing on isn't a linear feeling, it's some other feeling. Whereas this drill, you're tapping into the memory of this linear feeling right at impact. Boom. And then this here is just residue. That looks really good. I would love for your 145 to be your full swing length. Man, I can't wait to see that one on film.
That one is solid. I didn't
And I bet that was not more than 2 o'clock.
mark that one.
Mark that one. You were just more aggressive, weren't you? At the bottom.
I didn't think about where my arm was stopping. I felt shorter than my full swing would be, but it felt compact and connected and aggressive.
Yeah. See, that's the one I want to see.
Yeah, that's
These-
what we want to see.
That's the one I want to see on, and want you to let's just keep hitting that so there's a stronger memory tomorrow.
Let's go home and look at that one.
Okay, your linear direction is really good with this imagery, and you're just right on the boat.
It felt
This feeling you expressed, the way you expressed it, certainly indicated to me that it was somewhat new, a newish type of feeling,
like feels shorter and
but still didn't lose the aggressiveness.
right.
That's just right on the line. And you said this was slightly to the right, this lined up here,
Yeah.
and that's just right on that line. And you're just going to be bombing flags. You've heard the pros sometimes say after, what was going so well today? And it seemed like I was always on the perfect number. I always had, it was just the perfect number. That was my perfect 9 iron. That means their stock number for that 9 iron. That's exactly the distance they needed to hit. They didn't need to try to manipulate anything. The linear part they locked down. That's why they're PGA Tour players. They get the linear part down. Oh yeah. Oh man, that was really good.
For
So
sure.
get your sand wedge back. Let's do the same drill. Should be close. That blue pole is 174. Just what's that from where you're standing? Remember the number you paced off?
10 paces.
So that's 164. What club would you hit to land on the upslope of the hill, short of the pole, but just short?
Oh, wait, 9.
Just get a 9 iron, go that direction. What I would like you to be able to figure out how to do is how can I attach the linear thought to a full swing, as opposed to I can't have a linear thought unless it's a shorter swing.
Well, I can, that swing that I was just making my wedges, I could make that feel like my full swing.
Right.
But I'd like my distances to be good though. If that makes-
Sure.
I don't want to end up being pitching wedge 120 yards, you know.
No. That was a 52, and how far do you think we hit that? You're 115 with your sand?
Yeah, the sand wedge is probably landing a yard or two past the yellow post.
Well, let's see what the same swing that you were just using, use it on this club. But I do want to see what the shaft position is without that shorter but still aggressive swing is what we're looking for. I really want more aggressive with the body, not the hand so much. The hand will be pulled down into the golf ball with that body aggressive. Visualize almost. I like Grant. Man, he just loads that up and just. He wasn't a big hitter, but he wasn't short either. That's the swing I like to see.
Now it's more control on the backswing.
Yeah. So that, but you were still very aggressive. You probably couldn't have been more aggressive from that position. That was almost maximum aggressiveness from that position.
For control, yeah. I mean, I could definitely go more aggressive, but I don't know what.
Right. I want aggressiveness as long as you maintain balance and form. And the form is the tricky part of that. Is
Okay.
what is the right form?
This would be what I would consider max aggressiveness.
Okay.
I think.
But with still a shorter backswing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's 174 from there, 164.
This is my
164
9
9? Where do you want a 9 iron? We want the 9 iron to be how far?
Well, if we want my pitching wedge 145,
Right, that's right.
we want what? How many yards?
160. I'm not going to get off the goal of shorter backswing.
Okay. That was shorter, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay.
It appeared to me, we'll know for sure.
Okay.
But, which means it looks like we're going to be able to get close to our numbers with the shorter backswing.
Right.
Good swing. That feel pretty good?
Yeah.
That was a pitching wedge. Pitching wedge 1. I will tell you that was close to 3 o'clock.
It was. Close to it.
So what would a 130 backswing feel like? And where do you need to feel it? You probably need to feel it more in your left arm and shoulder than you do. We're trying to figure out where the shaft is.
I think I need to concentrate more on this.
Okay.
The Rory.
But you still want to be in. What we'll probably have is possibly a slightly more shaft length. Dynamic loft will be actually lower. Is what I'm thinking.
Because of the shorter swing?
Because the aggressiveness from that shorter position will have you even more to the left-sided impact.
I'm only going to think about my chin.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you're not losing it. That's a good distance. Good line. And I didn't see your backswing, sorry. My mind was thinking about stuff.
Check that backswing out.
That was pitching wedge number 2. Supposedly shorter. Slightly short of 3. I think that's just where we're going to be.
I mean, that
I
felt,
mean, that felt so good. It sounds so good. It went so good. It's just,
everything was good.
man, I just hate being.
So I think just thinking about,
Try not to think about being shorter. Just think the chin again,
yeah.
and accept whatever it is.
Okay.
Perfect. Exactly where you want to be. All right, so that's your chin swing.
Okay.
Pitching wedge.
Yep.
Pitching wedge, chin swing. Pretty good.
I feel like the shorter swing with my driver makes it harder to get it around or inside out for some reason.
Oh, and I didn't make it clear, but I've attempted to, but in a weak way, I guess. I don't mind with the irons hitting an exact number is the goal.
Right.
With the driver, it's hitting as far as you can bloody hit it.
Right.
So I don't mind you introducing power fundamentals to a driver swing that I would not want positioned in an iron swing.
Okay.
So don't worry about your length of backswing. I just want you to hit it as hard as you can hit it. That's what I want.
Yeah. This is the longest.
As long as we can control it.
Right. This is the longest I've gone without
Really working with your driver.
working with the driver. all low in the heel.
Yeah. Just feel like there's no pop.
I don't feel connected. I don't
Yeah.
feel anything good.
Good. I like that finish. Don't be afraid to release those hips. Well, let's diagnose that last ball flight. Face slightly open, path left,
Yep.
get a little on the heel. So,
Okay, I'm gonna do one swing, not thinking about my left side,
okay,
like staying on my left side.
right, sure. There's no question that Rory has a little rock to his right on his takeaway.
And two hop to the dirt.
That-
I feel like it hit way off the toe somewhere too.
I started thinking about,
The difference
I don't
between-
believe that, my belief now in a golf swing, there's what I call idiosyncrasies and there's what I call fundamentals. The fundamental, I use the phrase stable axis golf swing,
Right.
but I actually I now believe that a stable axis is not a single point, even though the word axis tends to think that, but it's a zone, it's a small zone. And so wherever this axis is, it, as long, I think there is a fundamental zone that it should stay within, but it's not a single point that can't even have the slightest amount of movement away from a single point.
Yeah.
That all the pros, if I separated all the top players from those who have very little movement in their single axis and those that have a lot of movement in their single, that difference is really still pretty small.
Yeah.
Rory may be, his axis point might move a little bit, particularly with the driver.
For his driver, I think what he does though, from watching this video, is he loads, but he stays there. So he kind of maybe sets up center or forward maybe,
Yes.
but then he loads back slightly and then
Yes.
rotates around that axis.
But he doesn't actually move his head that much.
Yeah.
The top of his body is pretty much stays in the same place, but it's in here that he's loading the right side a little bit. So with the driver, I like you not trying to restrict yourself to the left side. It's going to be there anyway, as long as you don't let the axis go too far right.
My swing direction is the orange post
Or right of it.
or right of it.
Not since we don't know the attack angle exactly, let's figure out how to offset it with swing direction. And right now you're basically relying on your most representative comfortable swing without trying to tweak it in any way with something new. Is that somewhat accurate?
Yes.
Let's stay with that.
The only thing that worries me, or is a concern in my head, is that if I get too loose with my driver swing, is it going to reflect on my iron swing?
There's no reason it should.
Okay.
You're not gonna hit it better than that, are you? The way you moved just then created the ball flight we would like to become repeatable.
Correct.
And I don't care what that way of moving is. If you can repeat it, that's the one that's the one you should play with. Now, if you can't own it, if you can't get consistent with it because of issues with the shape or movement, or pieces are off, Doing it one time is not good enough. You've got to do it consistent enough that you can score well. You can play golf with that shot. People with 115 mile an hour club head speed aren't going to hit as many fairways as somebody who swings 90 miles an hour.
Right.
Just that's awesome.
I feel like completely away from everything that we want to do, though. But I mean, that's
well,
pretty much.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You're not producing errors, nothing to tweak. To me, the driver swing is not the issue for you. It's the iron swing.
Right.
So you just grip it and rip it,
Yeah.
and we'll work on the iron. But don't try to incorporate. Your driver swing will be slightly different than your iron swing,
Right.
but for logical reasons.
I'm interested to see if what I feel is so far off from my iron swing is really that far off.
I bet it's closer. I bet it's improved. I bet traces of the connectedness or backswing control is showing up, even though you're not trying to have it show up. Yeah, when you try to incorporate some of those pieces right now, it's not. You just can't seem to blend it in,
The iron swing.
or whatever you were working on before.
That was off the heel too.
I still like everything. All of these are so much better though than the other swing.
Definitely.
You're getting the launch angle I like. You're hitting it solid. You're not. I mean, you're just letting it go. I really mean it when I say I don't want you to think about anything. I don't want you trying to tweak this into some piece. If there's some piece you need to incorporate on this next swing. No, I don't want you to have any piece. I like your golf swing, the one that is you're comfortable with.
Okay.
I need you to play competitive golf with that swing for right now. That you had too much angle in this leg here instead of being here.
Yeah.
You weren't posting up on that left side very much. And that last one, is that what you mean by hanging back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that on the video. You might have seen it as well. I think you were when you said I hung back, you were trying to execute a swing that wasn't thinking about it, but you noticed it was different than that swing.
Yeah.
And so then on the next swing we tried to think about not hanging back, and then that's not the same swing.
Yeah.
So let's just keep swinging the non-thinking swing, and some good ones and bad ones will both be there. But you just keep trying to just rip it. How hard can you hit it? That's what we want to see. Now, if you were to have one swing thought, I want you to hit that tee, but try to have a perfect balanced finish. So you're just thinking about arriving at a position you can hold. You're going to swing really fast, and you're going to feel really good, very aesthetic at the end. Perfect pose at the end. And you can rebound and come. You don't have to hold it back there. Do that again. Let's try to find a finishing position that you think, man, that's the one I want to have every time.
Okay.
Find a finishing position that you want to have every time. So you're going to kind of experiment with. You're going to swing different times and find the one that really feels right. That feel pretty good there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just flutter my toe a little more and I feel
Okay.
more balanced.
Okay. So now in this next swing, you are going to have one swing thought. But it has nothing to do with anything except the very end. Just the destination. There's one thing that is unmistakably obvious when you watch Rory McIlroy swing.
McIlroy.
What's his?
McIlroy.
McIlroy. What I call him?
McEnroe. What's noticeably different?
He finishes. You could almost take a picture of his finish 10 times and put them on the table, and they look like carbon copies.
Yeah.
I mean, he just literally has the same finish every single time. I liked. And it wasn't too, if you can nail that, if you can even get close to the same finish, I don't think a lot goes wrong. Because your subconscious mind almost says to you, well, if you want me to finish here all the time, then I've got to do this, 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 and this to have that happen. And it's going to shape the right swing for you.
Right.
You just say, I don't care how you get there, subconscious. This is where I want the final destination. You get here and figure out a way to best do that.
I think that, and that was just off the heel, which is why that faded.
So your swing thought could be simply, I want to have a perfect finish every swing, every drive.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Crack.